So, good day everyone. For our report is other dance forms. Contemporary dance.
Lesson. Dance is a profound, solitary, artistic, and creative endeavor that requires introspection, philosophical analysis, and complex conceptualization. The classification of dance it's in, it has two classifications of dance. A. Interpretive dance, dances that are meant to be interpreted for performances and staging. Dance literatures and signature basic steps are already inherent to these dances, which serve as identifying steps to the dance. Such dances include folk dance, ballroom dance, and ballet. B. Creative dance, dances that are created out of two approaches, the elemental approach and creative approach. These dances are highly improvisational in nature, considering the different elements necessary in the creation of dance. Dances that fall under this classification include modern contemporary dance, jazz, pop, and hip hop.
So, contemporary dance. The name contemporary dance describes a range of techniques and styles used in classes, workshops, and dance choreography. It was developed in the early 20th century as recreation against the rigid techniques of ballet. Pioneers such as Isadora Duncan and Martha Graham searched for ease of movement using the body's natural lines and energy, allowing a greater range and fluidity of movement than typical and traditional techniques.
If ballet is the heart of dance, contemporary is the soul. Contemporary dance combines a variety of dance techniques such as ballet, modern jazz, and lyrical to create a beautiful style of dance filled with emotion. It incorporates a lot of floor work, and although technique is important, contemporary dance is more of a free form than the disciplined style of ballet. Contemporary dance is often raw and thought-provoking, taking the audience on an emotional journey.
So, elements of dance. B. Body. In a dance, the body is the mobile figure or shape, felt by the dancer, seen by others. The body is sometimes relatively still and sometimes changing as the dancer moves in one place or travels through the dance area. Dancers may emphasize specific parts of their body in the dance phrase, or use their whole body all at once. A. For action. Actions, the human movement included in the act of dancing. It can included dance steps, facial movements, partner lifts, gestures, and even everyday movement such as walking. Dance is made up of streams of movement and pauses, so action refers not only to steps and sequences, but also to pauses and movements of relatively stillness.
S is for space. Dancers interact with space in myriad of ways. They may stay there in one place or they travel from one place to another. They may alter the direction, level, size, and pathways of their movements. And here are A. Floor pattern. Patterns created by body as it moves through space, examples of which include lines, letters, shapes, or polygons. B. For direction. The course or way in which movement is created with reference to the frontal plane of the body. C. Focus. Point of the attention by either the performer or the audience. And D. Dimension. How performers appear with reference to the audience's view.
So continuation E for balance. It may static or dynamic in nature. Static means rest, while dynamic means in motion. F levels. They are classified as low, middle, and high with the lowest level the basis of middle and high levels. G. Mass and volume. This is dedicated by the number of bodies performing through space. There are dances or parts of the dance performance that requires more dancer while some require less or few. H. Contours and shapes. Shapes and forms created by the body or bodies as they move through space.
Now we'll continue. T. Time. The keyword for the element of time is when. Human movement is naturally rhythmic in the broad sense that we are alternately activity and rest. Breath and waves are examples of rhythms in nature that repeat, but not as consistently as in the metered rhythm. Time in dance is represented by music specifically, and is predominantly influenced by rhythm, tempo, dynamics, and melody. E. Energy pertains to the amount of effort exerted in the performance of dance or dance movements and combinations. Energy in dance makes the difference in terms of the intensity of movement. Two dancers might be executing the same movement but differ in the manner of execution and level of energy.
with reference to the amount of energy used in the performance of movement. Number one is perpendicular, swinging or swaying. Number two, percussive, strong, big, and striking movements. Three, vibratory, series of rapid and quickly executed small percussive movements. And lastly, four, sustained, movement with no preparation, beginning, and unnoticeable end.
And with reference to the application of energy in the performance of movement, 1. Locomotor movement. It allows one to move from one point to another, which includes walk, run, or jump. And 2. Non-locomotor movement. These are the movements that are performed in one point in space without transferring to another point. This includes flexion, extension, contraction, collapse, rotation, twist, and a turn.
Improvisation, the art of creating movements that the body is not familiar with. It is exploring its potential movements, which can later be refined and transformed into dance movements. This process is the key to combining the different elements discussed to create a masterpiece. It is creating something new, something different, and something unusual and non-habitual.
And these are the creative approach in creation of dance. This approach is creating a storyline in creating of the whole dance performance and experience. It is the finishing touch in polishing the dance creation. It involves the following elements. Need. The very reason why the dance needs to be done. For example, the need for peace or the need to get out of poverty. And seed. An idea, tangible or intangible, that may represent the need. For instance, the need for peach is represented by a cross. Next is picture. This represents the whole concept of the dance representation. It may answer the need for peace, for example, and why it is represented by a cross. And lastly, developmental treatment. This represents a draft of how the dance presentation should progress and develop, how it should start, build up, and end.
So for the quiz, please answer these questions. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe.